What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to some comments that the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, made very recently here in the United States, in New York. And it sounds like he was in like a room full of like hotshots, like all the top American business leaders and CEOs and investors, and he was basically like pitching Canada as a big opportunity for investment, which is very interesting to me because, these are some of the most powerful people in all of the United States who are not part of our government, So maybe this could actually be an opportunity for a different kind of Canada US partnership, which doesn't have anything to do with the US government, which has managed to totally screw up our relationship so far. So I'm very curious to take a look at this and see what happened and what was said. So let's take a look.
The Prime Minister and his negotiating team in New York pitching a new relationship with the U.S. to the very people who could put pressure on Donald Trump.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking about that. Like, these are really powerful, influential people in the United States that if they like what Mark Carney is saying and if they like the direction that Canada is going, which I think many people do, I think a lot of these Americans here who are big decision makers for our country could want to get on that train and want to be a part of this and be in a relationship, a productive one with Canada. And like I was saying, it's actually nice to see like people who sort of represent the United States but aren't part of our government. Jeez. Um, Actually getting a say in this sort of thing. And like they're saying, maybe they can actually pressure the US government. That is, in the United States at least, that is literally, that is extremely common. It's like lobbying, and like a lot of these people are probably donors to like political parties and to the government agencies. And, you know, I'm sure some of that is kind of sketchy or maybe corrupt, and maybe it shouldn't work like that. But since, we're being realistic here, if all that is the way it indeed works, maybe some good can come of this. If these Americans who are like made our biggest, most successful businesses and have half a brain, like can actually get the United States into some kind of meaningful, productive relationship with Canada, get that going again, or start it anew, or something. So, in a weird, crazy way, this could be like a really good thing.
Who could put pressure on Donald Trump?
Let's be absolutely clear. Canada Strong will help make America great again.
Whoa. Whoa. That's a statement. What? I guess that just like kind of took me by surprise because he's using the MAGA tagline, but like against us. But it's not. It's in like a very interesting way, actually. Very tact, very strategic. He's like, I assume that was on purpose, by the way. The Make America Great Again, which is MAGA, stands for, but he's like, Canada can help make America great again, which there's all sorts of little subtext there that you could really read into. But it's also just a very bold thing to say. Like, because at the end of the day, we are the United States. We have an ego. we have a pretty big ego. We like to think that we are the best and we are the decision makers. And, if you've watched any of the videos that I've done lately, as an American, I openly can see, I think in a lot of ways we have been declining in the last year alone. I think a lot of people could see that if you're being honest. But so, in one way, maybe a lot of Americans don't want to hear this from an ego point of view. Like, oh, Canada could help you. We're like, hey, wait, we're supposed to be the ones doing the deal making here. We help everyone. It's like, I don't know. I actually think this is coming at maybe the correct time. And not what we want to hear, but maybe what we need. I don't know.
Mark Carney telling Wall Street and top American CEOs Canada is focused right now on building itself up and wants Americans to invest.
That future should include a new partnership with Canada.
I mean, let's also be totally clear here. Mark Carney, as any good leader is supposed to do, he's there for the benefit of Canada. Now, I do think, unlike the United States, Canada is interested in helping itself and helping others. But I think you guys believe in mutually beneficial relationships. Just because you succeed doesn't mean other people can't succeed. In the United States, our government seems to, especially Donald Trump and the administration, seems to have taken on a philosophy that in order for us to win, for us to be better, everyone else has to come down as well, and you have to lose, and we have to take advantage. And that doesn't seem to be what Mark Carney is saying, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, he's clearly also there, like, to get investments to Canada, which, for the benefit of Canada, which is why he was voted to be the leader. That's part of his job, so I don't blame him for that.
A true partnership that reimagines cooperation in specific sectors.
Carney said his government's pitched specific proposals to the Trump administration on autos, aluminum, and critical minerals.
With America's growing energy needs because of the incredible transformation here, does it really make sense to build the gigawatts here needed to replace Canada?
Oh, wow. He's trying to get, like, the manufacturing, the gigawatts, the gigawatts, into Canada instead of the U.S. Man, just look at this room. Like, imagine trying to do business with this room of people. Because I don't know if you recognize some of these people. Like, not fun.
But some say those proposals haven't worked.
We're pretty firmly stuck.
Canada's former top trade negotiator told senators there's no sign that Canada's getting to the table with the U.S. to review CUSMA.
That's what I've been hearing. I know this CUSMA, this big trade deal between the United States and Canada, it's been a thing for a while, is coming under review and needs to be negotiated and discussed and either hashed out or terminated, perhaps. And it seems like the United States really hasn't been open to talking about this thing with the Canada, and it's very frustrating from an American point of view, and I imagine it's very frustrating from a Canadian point of view. If you're wanting to do trade and business with us, even though we broke your trust, but we won't even talk about it. But then if we do, the concessions we want are really over the top, and we're holding a bridge hostage, which I did a video on recently. It's crazy, for lack of a better word. So it's nice to see Canada wants to still have partnerships. We should be kind of grateful for that, I think. But it doesn't seem to be going anywhere with the U.S. government. So he's going straight to the other decision makers of the U.S., which is very interesting. Going straight to the blood supply. Going straight for the people who make decisions off the record, like the donors, the CEOs, the people who have all the wealth and power outside of our government, frankly.
I think we really are in a position where we could be stuck for a considerable period of time. Canada is not going to be able to force the U.S. to come to the table.
Others say what Canada needs is American businesses on side.
Yeah.
Where we do see action is when business comes to the president and says, we have a concerted, aligned position on this.
The Canada-U.S.
Interesting. That's very interesting. I hadn't thought about this at all. It's a good strategy, really. Wow. Yeah, because it's like the only way to maybe get something meaningful done without having to go through the U.S. government. It's very interesting.
The Canada-U.S. Trade Minister says he hopes to find a path forward in the next few weeks.
We remain optimistic that we can find a circumstance where we recommit to the trilateral trading agreement.
The government only has about a month until CUSMA is up for review on July 1st. Mexico is already doing its first round of bilateral talks with the U.S. LeBlanc is now aiming to go to Washington next.
We're already doing talks with Mexico, but not Canada? Why? It just seems very clear to me that we have some kind of insane bias against Canada that's been built up because of resentment. Because of resentment for Canada basically standing up for yourself? If, from what I can see, from all the crap that the U.S. has done and the threats and the trade wars, and Canada is standing up for itself, and the U.S. government is mad about, like, how dare you? Like, it's insane, frankly. So it's really frustrating to see negotiations with Canada, like, aren't happening, but we're fine, like, with Mexico. Like, why? It's kind of, like, childish.
This week.
And so, Ashley, where are the Americans in all this? What are they saying?
Well, Adrian, tonight we're hearing from the U.S. ambassador to Canada, who has been airing his country's frustration and disappointment with Canada. In an online post, Pete Hoekstra writes, "It's worth repeating what Carney said, that a strong Canada will help make America great again."
Oh, hey, okay. Because I've seen some of the stuff that the U.S. ambassador to Canada has said, really complaining about Canadians' behavior, the boycotts, the alcohol bans, like almost trying to make it seem like Canadians are crazy for doing that. So I've really soured on the U.S. ambassador to Canada, but if he said that he actually is intrigued by Mark Carney saying strong Canada makes America stronger, or it's like, that's going in the right direction, I think.
And that, he thinks, is a message Americans can get behind.
All right, Ashley, thank you. That's
Wow. Interesting. This is very interesting. I wish almost in a way there was more information, because I was very like, Mark Carney went to New York, talked to American investors, pitched Canada, and now there's some talk going on, but it's like, what? Okay. And then what has become of that? What's happening? Is there... So maybe, hopefully, there will be some tangible updates about that in the future, but this is certainly, like, for the first time in a while, some refreshing news between the Canada-U.S. relationship. Like, we're going in somewhat of a correct direction on this and being open to, even if it means going around the U.S. government, frankly. I am open to that. So, this was cool. This was intriguing. And good strategy from Canada, it seems. So, anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on this interesting trade situation, negotiation situation happening between Canada and the U.S. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canadian things that I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.